you lead in a world where half of your team is skeptical of AI and the other half is waiting for it to do all of their work? Here's the truth that no one is saying out loud. AI won't replace leaders, but it will replace confusion. If you can get humans and AI working together with clarity, right, you're already operating at a leadership level, even if your job title doesn't say manager or director, because we all can be leaders regardless of where we fall in the food chain, right? Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm a human performance strategist and the creator of the CLEAR method, a system that trains professionals to stay calm, think clearly, and lead with confidence when the stakes are high. So today I want to talk about just AI and how we operate with it and why it's important to lead in a clear way so that we can move things forward together, because AI is not going anywhere, right? We live in this very weird moment, don't we, right now, where everyone's talking about AI, but no one's actually talking about how to lead through it. Some people see AI as a shortcut, some see it as a threat, but most people, they're just simply overwhelmed, right? How many of you feel like that? A Gallup study found that 14% of employees, they feel that their work is directed in a way that motivates them. That was before AI became a daily thing. So now we're facing a new kind of leadership gap, right? Not technical, but emotional, strategic, and human. Right? Everyone says that we're all going away because we're getting taken over by robots and AI, but there's still a human side to doing business, to relationships, to the work that we do, right? But when we think about it, why does AI need leadership? Well, according to MIT, AI can increase productivity by up to 40%. But there's a big but here. When it's introduced without direction or purpose, productivity drops and plummets by 20%. So you might say, Jen, why is that? If we have all of these tools, how can productivity plummet, right? It's because AI doesn't create clarity. Humans do. AI is just a tool. It's like the internet. We've had the internet for so long, right? So it hasn't taken over everything, but AI is a tool. Leadership is the operating system that makes it useful. So if you think, I'm not in management, this isn't my role, let me challenge you at that. Leadership today isn't about authority or some big title. It's about direction. And if you do want to move into a leadership role and have that fancy title, it gives you an opportunity to lead within your team. Show your team the way that you're using AI, or show yourself. Do a better job of using AI so you're more productive, you're doing things faster, you're able to execute, whether it's at your job or if you have a side hustle going on or you have goals to accomplish. AI can be used for you too. So if you find cool ways of doing that, share them. Be a leader and show how it's done, right? So let's envision a new way to look at things. The new leadership formula. So when you take human insight and you add AI efficiency, it turns into high performance for your team and for yourself, right? The leaders who will stand out in this new era, they're not the ones who know the most tools. Frankly, a lot of the leaders that I work with, they don't know a heck of a lot about different tools with AI. And sometimes I'm in different meetings and they will say out loud, I didn't even know that existed. So they're not always the ones that have the most tools. But the leaders who can bring AI in and learn about ones that are very efficient, they're the ones who can guide how those tools are used, because it's all about effectiveness, right? So here's what new leadership looks like in the age of AI. You ask, what are we trying to solve? So we're trying to find the pain point here, right? It's like what we talk about when we're focusing on selling to a customer, right? What problem are we trying to solve? So you ask, what are we trying to solve here before what tool to use? Because the tool doesn't matter, right? And you translate AI into a benefit. So saying something like, let's use this tool to remove the busy work so that we can focus on strategy. Or let's use this tool to be more productive. Or let's use this tool to get a lot of those pesky emails off our plate that don't matter, right? You give people permission to experiment without feeling stupid. That's really important too, is to be very open-minded and maybe encourage your team to find tools and bring them to the table. Because I'll tell you, in speaking to a lot of colleagues, professional friends of mine, they're overwhelmed by AI, and sometimes they're afraid to even mention some of the things that they're looking into because they feel like they're behind because everything is moving so fast. So don't be in that camp. Share what you're learning, share how you're using things, because you'll be pleasantly surprised of how many people are just faking it right now. So, and you don't need a title for that. You just need initiative and clarity. So let's talk about maybe a little mini framework we could put together for leading AI without a title, because not necessary, right? Step number 1, set purpose before tools. So instead of we need to use AI, shift the conversation to where are we losing time? What needs clarity, right? Look at what the problems are for you or for your team. What types of things that you want to fine tune, those repetitive tasks, right? Step number 2 is co-create, don't dictate. So say something like, let's test this together and see if it actually helps or just creates a lot more chaos, right? Because sometimes we're trying new tools, even our companies give us new tools to use, right? And it's just total chaos. But this can help build buy-in, is let's go in this together. And then people don't feel, I don't want to say so vulnerable, that they're afraid to speak out because they feel like everyone's in this together, right? Step number 3 is measure usefulness, not usage. So using AI doesn't mean it's helping. Looking at it as, did this free up time, energy, or mental bandwidth? Or did it just create more noise? And sometimes it's almost like nurses have alarm fatigue because they're hearing these beeps all of the time, right? Sometimes when everybody's using these tools, like I think of Microsoft Copilot, everyone's clicking on Copilot so we can get all these notes, right? It sometimes just becomes almost like, I don't want to say a fatigue, that no one's like really reading the notes after the fact. It's great to get the notes and to keep these things and to keep track of everything, but I find people are clicking on it and really counting on it. Instead of being present in the meeting, they're just like, oh, we're going to Copilot. It's all great, but if we don't do anything with Copilot spits back out based on the meeting, it's just more email, right? So how can we build AI confidence on your team? Most are resistant to AI, and those people are not about the tech part. It's about identity and fear of being replaced. And AI is not going anywhere. AI has actually been around for a long time, but it's just kind of hit the spotlight with ChatGPT and some options that us as consumers can use on the regular, right? But it's not all about tech. So if you're not a techie person, don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Be open to learning, because real leadership acknowledges that. So try this line if you're a leader or you have a team that you're working with. AI shouldn't replace your voice. It should amplify it. That one sentence, it changes how people approach technology and taking things from fear to curiosity. Like, let's be curious. Let's maybe plug some things that we're really proud of, maybe content that we've written. See if we can tighten it up a little bit. Use it as a tool to bring out our very best. So here's a few scripts that maybe you could use today, tomorrow, or on your team to make them more comfortable. And guide your team and guide your peers. You don't have to have a title to really be a leader in this. So maybe to introduce an AI tool, you might want to say, let's try this to remove the low value tasks so we can stay focused on strategy. To reduce resistance, maybe try saying something like, this is an experiment. If this adds stress, we'll adjust. But let's test it out. Let's see where it goes, right? Let's be open-minded. And in an area where you want to reduce or maybe even reinforce leadership without a title, you could say something like, I don't need to own this. I just want to help us work smarter and harder. I think if you were in a team and you said that to your boss and you provided some suggestions, I don't know any leader that would go against that. I would think that they would think you were probably in the 1% in a leadership direction by coming up with great ideas to help the team, right? So leadership is no longer something that you need to wait to be given as far as a title. It's something that you express through clarity, through direction, ideas, and the ability to bring people and AI into alignment. That can be a real strength, especially in today's marketplace. So if you could do that, even just once, you already have stepped into the kind of leadership that the future of work desperately needs. So if this hit home, drop a comment. Are you leading AI, or is AI just happening around you? I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear some of the applications and the suggestions maybe you're providing to your team, or the ways that you're working positively with AI. So if you want more strategies on human performance, difficult conversations, and leadership under pressure, hit subscribe, share these videos, and let's keep building on your clarity toolkit. So thanks everyone for joining. I hope that you got something out of this, and we will see you all on the next video.